Former president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has declared that he doesn't have a hand in Finidi George's appointment as Super Eagles head coach. The two-term president of NFF will on May 31, 2024 in faraway Bangkok, Thailand, vie to be re-elected into the FIFA Council. Pinnick was first elected into the FIFA Council in March 2021 in Rabat, Morocco, making him only the second Nigerian after Amos Adamu to occupy this office. He secured a seat in the FIFA Council, then following spate of withdrawals from the race by contestants prior to the election. Joining us now is Amaju Pinnick, former Nigeria Football Federation chairman. Good morning, Mr. Pinnick. Good to have you on the morning show.
Thank you. Always nice to have you guys here. To be around this, the #1 talk show in the world.
We receive the compliment.
Thank you for the compliment. Right.
All right. So, Mr. Pinnick, go straight in. Two questions there in my introduction. I talked about the fact that a number of controversies around you having some influence in Mr. Finidi George emerging as Nigeria's head coach. And of course, the second is you vying to go for another term as part of the highest body in terms of executive decisions in FIFA, the FIFA Council. How's that going? I know you need the federal government support for that, but I'll start with the first question.
Let me take from the second question, if you don't mind.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so that I can remember, all what I want to say. The FIFA Council election is in March next year. Okay. It's not this year in Bangkok. Bangkok, we're having the usual Congress. Congress is the coming together of all the federations, the 211 member federations, and where we deliberate and take decisions and get certain about everything that we need to do, and get approvals where necessary, elective positions into various bodies is once in a year. The next year is going to be the elective Congress. And there's no even a venue for that yet. But so I just want to get this straight up, and people should understand that the election is not in 2 weeks, it's in March 2025.
So that's good, you have a bit of time.
But no. In football politics, unlike PDP, APC, you don't have time. Because when you start, you have to start early. You go to a country. I've visited about 6 countries already. You campaign. There's no way to say there's an INEC that says there's a portal being opened for you to. No, you start. And you see most of these countries in Africa, the moment you go to each country and they accept you, no other person goes to them. So you have to start early and start going around, And I'm happy the response has been usually positive. So the election is not now, but we started our campaign in a very subtle and, and very progressive manner. Then talking about Finidi George, it was a strong personal opinion, that I propounded based on the fact that Finidi provides leadership. People should understand being a coach and being a leader, it provides leadership, selflessness. And the most elemental of why I advocated for Finidi was the transition, the seamless transition from Peseiro to him, because he was part of that system, good or bad. It was part of that system. So if at this brevity of time, you want to get a new coach, he will come with his new ideas, new idiosyncrasy, new tactics, but Finidi would just be there. And besides, Finidi is one ex-international that I have so much regard for because you won't see any form of encumbrance around him. He provides leadership. He's humble to a fault. I'm not telling you that tomorrow he will not lose a game or two. What I'm telling Nigerians is that he should be given support. We should keep praying for him. The NFF on their part should build capacity around him. When I mean capacity, like the coach is usually a leader. I've been opportune to watch Arsenal in London Connie. As a Wenger at that point will come out just 5 minutes at the end of the training. You'll see various departments. There's a technical assistant for defense, for midfield, for set pieces. Then there are the match readers that will read the game, that will tell them, look at the strength, look at the weaknesses of this player. Football has gone beyond that. All the physiology of all the players, they know them. For example, they'll tell you that if Salah runs for 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, he fizzles out. Then he regains his strength again after 10 minutes. Everything is science. So we can't just sit down and say we want to watch. You sit down and watch, And that's what, for now, is providing leadership. And I think that's good. And I also heard about people talking about his assistant. I don't know if you're going to bring that up. Yeah, it's very tricky. Your assistant.
Does he wanting foreign assistants?
Yes, yeah, foreign assistant. Yeah, it's normal. Some of these coaches you see in Africa, some of these African coaches you see, they all have foreign assistants. And let me tell you why. There are some foreign assistants that you have. These guys are hungry. Bonfrejo was a foreign assistant to Westerhoff, and eventually took charge of the national team. Foreign assistants, in terms of physical training, they are well equipped. They are well equipped. And because of the fact that they've seen A to Z of backroom arrangement is a plus to whoever is a coach. Olise had a foreign assistant. Siase had a foreign assistant. So it's not as if it's new, So if he's advocating for a foreign assistant, he knows why. And Finidi he played for Ajax under Louis van Gaal, one of the best coaches in the world at a point. In Ajax, if you look at Ajax, the play was called developmental football. Holland, Norway, Denmark, the Scandinavian nations especially, they play developmental. Developmental means how to trap the ball again, how to chase the ball. They teach you all the basics and they graduate it to the most sophisticated form of playing football. So he's well equipped, and it's for that reason. If it was Amunike that was an assistant to Peseiro, it's a no-brainer. I would have said, take him. Amunike is also technically very, very up there, he's sound. But I'm just talking about the seamlessness of transition from Peseiro to...
Okay, we get that point, although I'll come back to, your defense of what Finidi George is proposing to do. But let's start with FIFA Council membership. I mean, you've been involved in this football politics, to use your phrase, since about 2014. You've been the president of the NFF. You've been on the board of FIFA. You've been on the board of CAF. You've been president AFCON. You got onto the council of FIFA in 2021, right? Now 2025, ahead of it, you are already campaigning. But you recall that in 2021, you had a good opportunity because there were withdrawals ahead of the election. Now this time around, what's your strongest advantage? Your friendship with Infantino, for example, because you and the FIFA president, you are very close. Is that the strongest advantage that you have now? Then to come to the Finidi George matter. Well, I get your point, but you campaign for him, so the man you campaign for is there. That's why people are saying you must have influenced his emergence. And now you're also defending his choice to have foreign assistance. I think he's chosen Amunike as second assistant, but he wants 3 foreign backroom assistants. 3. How many Nigerians who are saying, let us develop indigenous talent? Say, okay, you surround yourself with 3 foreign assistants, maybe 1, but 3. So that's why people are kicking, so that it doesn't produce a super Eagle squad again that will be to the disadvantage of local talents.
Recall I just mentioned that backroom staffing is a lot scientific right now. If he says he needs, I don't know about that, I've not seen it anywhere. If he says he needs 3 foreign assistants, you don't know, possibly 1 for midfield, 1 for attack, and 1 for defense. It happens. Then a goalkeeper's trainer, then a physical trainer, then a match reader. Is
so we don't have such talents in Nigeria.
They are in Nigeria. Even there are some Nigerians abroad. There's a guy called Abuboy. He's been working with a young boy, 27. I think I took him in. He's an Shakiri guy. Young, very intelligent, very resourceful. I didn't even know he was Shakiri when we brought him from England to come and help. And he's been in the Super Falcons team. So it's not as if he's limiting himself. He can say to the federation, we have talent in Nigeria. We have huge talent on and off the pitch. If you look at it, I was discussing with somebody 2 days ago. Karim Adeyemi is from Oyo State. The guy from Borussia Dortmund. Bukayo Saka is from Ogun State. Akonji. These are playing, they are first team players in their team. Off the pitch, you cannot but see that Nigerians are everywhere. What I'm trying to say is that the backroom staff, the assistant coaches are the engine room of the success of a coach or otherwise. Take it from me. Because the coach stands there, he sees things that they don't see. They call his attention to everything even before, during, and after a game. It is the backroom staff that makes up that team. The coach is just like a leader. He harmonizes, streamlines everything they tell him, and he puts it to use. So, but it goes beyond that. So to me, it can sit, it depends on funding. If the federation has been exceptional, trust me, you know, if they are not, I'll come here to say it, they've been exceptional under Ibrahim in terms of doing things with prudence, in terms of, that's why they struggled. When I left, where some coaches were being old, but I think they've cleared most of those things, you know, because government or administration is a continuum, and they've demonstrated that. And to me, kudos should be given to. We must encourage leaders in this country that are performing, you know. And I'm happy what the president did when he came back from AFCON. He didn't even mind that they didn't win the trophy, but gave all of them. Today, you know, you have the NFL president having OON, the general secretary, the team. Everybody's happy, you know. So I just want to say that it should be allowed. Finidi should be allowed to do what he wants to do. But if there's paucity of funds, which I believe there might be, he can sit with the federation and say, for now, for these two, because we have very critical matches, I cannot imagine Nigeria not being in the next World Cup. It's totally unthinkable. You see, like, even the last one that we did is still haunting me, because I was the leader of the federation at that point. It's still haunting me. So we must do everything possible in ensuring that we get to that point where we can qualify. We should support where we need to support. We should criticize where we need to criticize. We don't need to annihilate when it's not necessary. Our advice must be scientific. Our advice must be objective. It's not just limited to everything we do, we want to criticize. As a nation, we cannot grow. That is just my own feeling. If I even go wrong, say it. Okay. Then the other one about Gianni Bima. Gianni and I were quite close, and Gianni is close to practically all the FA presidents. He close to all the council members. Gianni has a kind of a leadership that is so dynamic. Same also applies with Patrice. They don't believe that they are high up there. They just believe that we are one, we are brothers, with, you know, and that's the kind of leadership. It demonstrates that. But my strong point is that by God's grace, I think I've been around Africa in the last 3-4 years. I've done, you know, and I've gotten endorsement, which I'm not going to come out to say right now, but I can tell you I have huge following, you know, from the continent. They've seen that it's not just going to the FIFA Council. FIFA Council is quite intimidating. I'm telling you, when you have the princes from various Arab nations, you have people of so high quality. So it's very intimidating for you to even raise up your hand to say you want to speak. So when you see me, and the beauty about it is that you see the Nigerian flag in front of Amaju Pinnick, that gives me a lot of pride, a sense of pride. So when I'm talking, they know Nigeria is talking. There was a time I challenged all my council members. I say, you're talking, you don't talk about Nigeria. We won the nations, this thing 5 times. In the council, 5 times. Your country has not won nothing. So Nigeria is a bigger footballing country than you. Africa is a bigger footballing country than your continent. On a light mood. You know, we just said that we joked about it, but it got to him, and later called me and said, really, Nigeria has won this thing 5 times? I said, yes. AFCON 3 times. We played finals, our women's team is, and I went on and on. And of course, you could see that there's respect, because there are some things you don't do. Football goes beyond just politics. The caliber of people you meet in the council, we're only 37 in the world. As I'm here, FIFA knows I'm here. We're only 37. I'm telling you, we are the most protected. I'm telling you, no, I'm not joking.
All right, and that's what I'd like to ask you, and I'm glad you talk about because I was going to speak about the benefit to Nigeria. I know you're not just representing Nigeria, you're representing football across board. You've talked about the support you enjoy from continent, you know, the African continent, some countries on the African continent. How about back home in Nigeria? Earlier today, this state took a report where I think it was the former chairman of the Edo State Football Association who was saying that you would need our government support for your bid to remain on the council. First question is, how supportive has the government been to your bid? And number 2, what more would you like, you know, in terms of support from this government?
The minister has been exceptional. Trust me. The minister calls me, what do you need? The minister has been hugely exceptional. The NFL president, let's not go there, you know, they've been extremely, extremely supportive. And there was even a criticism that I wrote a letter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs requesting the support. It's normal in football, because I'm not going there representing Amaju Pinnick or representing my company, Brown Hill. No, I'm going there to represent a country. You know, I represent 22 African countries. I'm in charge of 22 African countries, 22 English-speaking countries in Africa. So you, as president, you will write a letter, you know, as somebody that wants it to run, officially informing the government. Because when they put me on the ballot, they're going to put Amaju Pinnick, Nigeria. I don't own Nigeria. So the owners of Nigeria, I must go to them and say, give me your blessing. And their blessing, they will ask you, what kind of blessing do you need? Diplomacy, contact, yes. The Minister of Sports will do theirs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs will do theirs, because it's not Nigerians that are voting. We have only one vote. That's the president of NFF. We have 53 other votes. And of course, I know the country, and our president is very, very well respected in the continent and extremely strong in this continent. So, by God's grace, we'll get there. And
we're almost wrapping up. I recall that the last time you were here, there was this crisis in Warri, you know, Olu of Warri,
anytime I come
and the Ologboshere and all that. Is there peace in Warri now, or that Ologboshere crisis is still there?
There's no crisis in Warri. I can tell you. What you see are just you know, it's inevitable that you see some people come up with some kind of I call it charade, you know, but there's nothing. We have an Ologboshere in place. We have our king, who is so hugely loved and supported.
You have one Ologboshere or two Ologbosheres?
We have one recognized Ologboshere by law. You know, Chief
There's an unrecognized one.
I'm not going to go there. I'll play the fifth, but when it comes to our Ologboshere, what the law recognizes is Ologboshere, and that's the Ologboshere that can go to the palace. It's simple. If you say you're Ologboshere, go to the palace. It's just a simple thing. I'm not going to say otherwise. We have one king who is so loved. But come on, you can't see a king like that and won't love him. It's not possible. Then we have an Ologboshere that has been able to galvanize the kingdom in the absence of the king and doing what he's doing. So we don't have anything. I can tell you today and for free, we are not here to say Ishekiri is one strong, united entity, small but mighty, because of our oil reserves, because of what we've been able to give to this country as a country. And at the right time, those people that we consider outsiders, they will come back home. I keep saying this. They will come back home. I'm not just like saying it. My dad, like I told you, was the Olu Orere of Warri. He died 42 years ago. That chieftaincy title has not been given to anybody. Olu Orere is the king outside the kingdom. For now, you know. It's a discussion of another day. So I am central to the kingdom. Then my mom is from the Ayomike's family. Strong. My granddad was a warrant chief, appointed by Europeans in Uborodo, escribos, what people call escribos. So I am deeply rooted in Warri kingdom. And that's why you see, there's no other Warri person that is as Warri-centric as Amaju Pinnick.
Well, thank you very much.
Aside from the Olu of Warri.
After the Olu of Warri, yes, I agree.
I think we've covered the field, from NFF to FIFA to...
Next time we'll discuss agric and food security.
No, and then we'll talk about that village school you attended.
No, Aussie College is never a village school. Aussie College produced 16 players from the Super Eagles till date. Martin Owolo, Ogbenfa Wole, I can count, you know, Ofri Jeba, I can go on and on. All went to Aussie College. Beyond the Diare, Josie Dombraye, Aussie College, Tony Robo. What are you talking about? Okay. That's the best school. So when you are addressing Emmanuel Ifeanyi, great Malabite, please next time add Aussie College, great Ossian. Because Aussie was his formative years. Malabas was like a tertiary thing.
Okay, you know? Thank you very much.